Hey everyone, thought I'd make a video in not memory, but um, with the idea that Worlds is currently going on for Star Wars CCG in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, this weekend. So I'm pretty sure most of the people who subscribe to this channel or watch the videos are into that. But if you're not, it might be great to check it out. Yeah, it'll probably be a lot of fun, a lot of familiar faces there, all that sort of thing. But as for why I chose to make a video today. I mean, one of it is just I want to make videos for the channel, but also, why I think a healthy and flourishing market for cards in particular. In my case, I run the eBay store with a similar name to this channel. Why I think it's healthy for the game too. And I've alluded to this in previous videos. Like probably many of the pure players might think that speculators and markets would drive up prices of cards, and probably that has contributed over the last year or two. Since people are bored and COVID and locked up, and just the way that kind of thinking about assets and things like that has changed a little bit. Probably a combination of the two, but certainly cards are more pricey than they used to be. But with most things in life, it's usually not so straightforward. Like there's certainly trade-offs to be made, and I think with cards like this, I mean, there's a few things. One, and I don't want to make excuses of like, oh, they're expensive, so it doesn't matter. Because if you go to the tournaments, there are usually people there that, what I've heard, will actually, if you need cards, they would, let you use them in your deck, that sort of thing. You could always play with proxies, on your own if you're not in a tournament. So, I think that's one way to think about it. But moreover, there's a lot of, I want to use the word energy, but there are a lot of people right now, right, speculating in Magic the Gathering, Pokemon. Maybe not so much. I mean, they are maybe speculating a little bit and say the top Star Wars cards, but probably not so much Star Wars CCG yet. But at least to me, it would be really, maybe I want to say interesting. That's not quite right the word, but getting some fresh blood in there, because props to the players committee for keeping this, you know, as a competitive game going for 2 decades after the company officially shut down the game. Like, that's a great accomplishment, and I just feel like it would help continue allowing the game to exist and grow if there's just more people here, right? Because if you have the same usual suspects mostly for the last 20 years, and I mean, there's no reason they not continue to be there, but if you don't add too much new blood, then eventually, like I think I alluded to in a previous video, it might end up kind of like the country club, of old guys remembering the good old days. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It just doesn't bode well for continuing the Star Wars CCG legacy. And I think right now is a golden opportunity for that to happen, right? Cards are hot. It's kind of the in thing right now. If we can just capture a little bit of that interest from Pokemon and MTG, and a lot of those people did collect Star Wars CCG back in the day. Like if they can just kind of, just even like 1% of them, probably not even that, like 0.1%. Think of how many people that would be, right? Come back to Star Wars CCG and start playing, on GEMP, going or tuning in on Worlds, those sorts of things. Like, just think of how much more. I don't know. I hesitate to say it would be like more exciting, but it kind of would be, right? Like, think about it. Like, what if thousands of people were watching? Like, wouldn't that be a really cool feeling? Being like, yeah, this is like back in the '90s when Star Wars CCG was a big thing, and not that it's not, you know, not that it's not a good thing now. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it kind of deserves it, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy that, again, 20 years after it's officially out of print, the players committee has kept it going for this long. So looks like I'm frozen. Let me see if I can fix that. Boy. Well, that's unfortunate. You might just have to deal with that in the video, because I into editing so much yet, but the audio seems to be going quite well still, so I'll okay, there we go. Great. So yes, I'm still here. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it would really I think the trade-offs are worth it. Of course, I'm really biased because I'm the one grading the cards, so like of course I want them to do well, but like I don't know, it really bugged me. I think I've mentioned in a previous video that when I got back into grading cards or whatever, and I looked at my Pokemon cards, and I'm like, oh yeah, these are really hot. And I look at the Star Wars, and it's like it's just nothing. It was really weird, right? Because I'm an adult. I mean, I try to be sometimes, but so I looked at the cards, right, and the Pokemon cards are worth a ton, and the Star Wars at the time were basically like because most of my collection, like many people, was between Premiere and probably around Special Edition mostly, kind of when I tapered off to go to Pokemon Land. But by and large, they just weren't really worth anything, and no one was really grading them. And it's just odd to me. I think they should be appreciated more than that. I think that's really what it comes down to. Like when someone's willing to pay money for something, it means they, in some way, appreciate it. So when no one's willing to spend anything on it, what that really says is that people don't appreciate it. Again, people play vintage Magic, like, and they spend, what, probably one card costs more than an entire deck of, like, the top tier. Like, if you were using, like, alternate image and, like, ultra rare foil cards, it probably costs more than an entire deck. It's Star Wars CCG, but people have entire decks of Magic made of it. So, I don't know, it's odd. It's quite odd. So, it definitely can be done. I just, I um, hope that this will all work together to breathe more life into the game, and it's something I'm trying to get into. I just haven't, really had much time. So, anyhow, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you watch this video and you don't really watch Star Wars CCG, it might be a great thing to check out the worlds. Like I don't usually, play too many games or watch too many games, but I'm gonna try and tune in some this weekend just to, support the community and all that good stuff. Anyhow, stay safe, everyone. It's October of what's been a crazy 2021. May the force be with you, and don't fall victim to your fear. Take care, everyone.